All right, good afternoon, everyone. All right, I'm Dr. Anthony Johnson, and it is an honor and a privilege to be here. As Jalen stated, we are all here for one purpose. This is more than just an oratorical contest or a speech contest. This is an investment into our future, and I am looking forward to being inspired by each of these young men. Had a chance to work with them in YMOD, also at Evans High School with Men of Royalty. So I'm just excited to see what they have in store for us today. But before we do start, we want to just take some time out to say thanks. So if you could bow your heads with me and close your eyes and let's focus in. Dear Heavenly Father, God, we thank you for another day. We thank you for the very breath that we breathe, and thank you for another day of purpose. We ask that you get all of the glory out of our lives, and Lord, we ask that you continue to bless these contestants as well as their families and all brothers who are present here today. Lord, please watch over us, those who are still on their way, but Lord, help everything to be safe and well when we return. But we give you all the praise, honor, and glory, and we thank you for all of the work that is being done and put into these young men. And we just ask that we see the fruits of our labor come forth today. So thank you, and we ask these and all the blessings in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Oh, and I guess I was next on program as well. I think Jalen has already introduced us to Belford Lawson and had the opportunity to learn of his story. Great civil rights activist and attorney, young man at the time who dared to go before the Supreme Court, not once, not twice, not 3 times, but at least up to 8 times, and was the first black man to win a case that he brought before the Supreme Court. Now, as far as our beloved fraternity, he was the 16th general president of our organization, and as an activist, he had a chance to really touch on a lot of social justice issues of the time. And when you think back, and that's why I've been teaching, history is very important. So even though they don't want you to know your history, but it's good to pay homage to it and to really study it. And so Belford Lawson, he also, some would say, was a mentor to Thurgood Marshall, the actual first black man who was a Supreme Court justice. And so during their time, even until his latter years in 1985 when he passed away, he was always fighting for justice and making sure that people had equality, whether it was on a bus or in a home. And so we want to focus in on his legacy today and always bring to light the issues that are a part of our society and the systematic or systemic issues that occur that may keep young people of color down. And so today, that's why I'm really wanting to hear about how you're embracing your worth, overcoming any barriers that you may have, and how you're going to build a more just and empowered future for me and everyone else that's older than me. But that was a little bit of history about why we do what we do and who we're paying homage to today. So don't ever stop learning. So, all right, thank you.
Good evening, all.
Good evening.
That was a preparatory command, and as you military people know, now it's time for the plan of execution. Good afternoon, all.
Good afternoon.
My name is Ivan Alston, and welcome to the Belford V. Lawson Oratorical Contest. When everybody stop, when everybody claps, we'll stop clapping. But Dr. Johnson, take that man aside, he's not clapping yet. With all the clapping, then we will stop. I appreciate your attention. Thank you. Again, my name is Brother Ivan Cornbread Alston, and I'm glad to be here. We're going to start off this afternoon with our welcome occasion from Brother Jalen Christie, followed by our Dr. Anthony Johnson, our Director of Education, doing the invocation and the history of Belford Lawson. Christy?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
try that one more time. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. All right, much better, much better. On behalf of the Brothers of Delta Xi Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated and the Hankins Johnson Education Foundation, welcome to the 2026 Belford V. Lawson Oratorical Contest here at St. Mark AME Church. We are excited, we are inspired, and some of our contestants are probably thinking, why did I sign up for this? Take a deep breath. You are in the right place. Now today we honor the legacy of Belford V. Lawson Jr., a legal giant, a trailblazer, and a man who stood before the Supreme Court of the United States at least 8 times. 8. Some of us get nervous just speaking in front of 8 people. Now he spoke in front of the highest court in the land and made history as the first African-American man to win a case there. He also served as the 16th General President of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, showing us that excellence is not accidental, it is intentional. And that is what today is about, intentional excellence. Now students, I know you practiced this speech in the mirror, you might have practiced in the car, you practiced in front of your family, some of you all probably practiced in the shower and almost slipped trying to emphasize a point. That is what we call commitment. Now this year's theme asks, how can young people of color embrace their work, overcome barriers, and build a more just and empowered future? That is a big question. That is a let me sit up and sit straight kind of question. But here is the good news. You do not have to be grown to be great. You do not have to wait your turn to make an impact. Your voice is not junior-sized, it is powerful right now. To the parents, thank you for being the original Uber drivers, speech coaches, and hype teams. To our judges, thank you so much for the serious responsibility of dedicating who takes home top honors. No pressure at all. And to our contestants, remember this. Win or not, you are already doing something brave. Public speaking is one of the top fears in America. You chose to do it anyway, and that is what we call true leadership. Today is not just a competition, it is a glimpse of the future. And judging by the talent in this room, the future sounds confident, courageous, and very well rehearsed. So, let us lean in, let us listen, let us celebrate. And most importantly, let us encourage these young voices who are bold enough to step up to the microphone. Once again, welcome to the 2026 Belford V. Lawson Oratorical Contest. Please let the brilliance begin. Thank you.
All right, good evening. All right, distinguished guests, brothers, and contestants. This is an important day for you guys, so please make sure that you come up here with confidence as that has already been stated. Just a few rules. So there is going to be time. So keep in mind that you have a minimum of 4 minutes and you have a maximum of 7 minutes. If you are under 4 minutes or over 7 minutes, you will be automatically disqualified. So please keep in mind somebody is going to be in the back with a green paper that signifies that it's going to be at minimum 4 minutes. So that means you're in the clear of that time frame that you need. The second card is going to be like a yellowish green card that's like at the 5-minute mark. And then a red card is going to be the 1-minute mark for 6 minutes. So once you go over 7 minutes, or if you go under 4 minutes, then you are automatically disqualified. Are we clear, gentlemen? Great.
What would we be today as Americans if we were nothing but at least Olympians and cheering for our country? How about the U.S. hockey team winning the gold medal today for the first time since 1980? Rick, you went to school up there in that area by Lake Placid, there in Syracuse, am I right? You're an Orangeman. I remember vividly on this day, 1980, was the miracle on ice, when we beat the Russians for the first time. And then that was that Friday night. Then that Sunday, we beat the Finns. And now finally beating the Canadians in overtime, our women's and men's. That was a shout just for us Americans. Good stuff, good stuff. And it happened to be my daughter's 35th birthday. Anyway, as it goes, our judges, what would this event be, gentlemen? Orators. Yes, without our judges. When I call their name, I'm going to ask them to stand and wave like a prom king so that you all can see them, all right? First is the director, Brother Clifford Youngblood Jr. Would you please stand? Cliff is a native of Orlando, Florida, the graduate of the Jones High School. No Jones High School fans out here? Okay, all right. That'll count up on some points out of your orators clap or anything. All right. Graduate of the Jones High School with honors participating in band as drum major his senior year, choir, and other academic clubs like SEC, me, and FFEA. He is a graduate of Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University. There's no snakes in the house, all right. Majoring in biology, also participating in the internationally acclaimed Marching 100 Band, playing the clarinet. He also holds a graduate. He's also a graduate of Alabama State University. Those are the Hornets, Yellow Jackets, Hornets. There in Montgomery, Alabama, also majoring in biology. He's a former college professor teaching anatomy and physiology, biology, and microbiology. Those are all the classes I avoided. Getting my GED, that's when you're supposed to clap and laugh. If you don't laugh, just at least shake your shoulders, make me think you're laughing. There you go. Currently employed with Florida Department of Health, working in environmental public health for Orange County. He's also a church musician at Shiloh Baptist Church of Orlando. Ladies and gentlemen, Brother Clifford Youngblood Jr. But here's my medalists. After placing first, second, and third in this competition over the past 3 years, Caleb Wingbush returns to the scene of his crime. As a college freshman, where, Caleb?
Valencia College.
Valencia College, a dynamic influencer, he brings not only experience but a deep respect for the courage, preparation, and discipline it takes to step onto this stage. He is honored to support contestants, uplift the brotherhood, and offer feedback that sharpens, strengthens, and builds. Ladies and gentlemen, Caleb Wingbush. Now, our Northern New York alum, Ricardo Cumberbatch. Is a seasoned professional with over 3 decades of experience in management and work and marketing, particularly within the telecommunications, communications sectors. Beginning his career at Marine Midland Bank in 1983, Ricardo quickly established himself in the communications media division, where he played a pivotal role in evaluating loan documentation and financial data for key industry players in radio and cable TV. In 1989, he transitioned to the Bank of Montreal, taking on significant responsibilities in business development, loan portfolio code management. His expertise is in identifying business. He then, Ricardo's strategic acumen and thorough market analysis led him to venture into the entrepreneurship in '91, capitalizing on the deregulation of the payphone industry. Payphone, gentlemen, that's when you have a cell phone like this, gentlemen, and instead of booth on a street, glass enclosure, shit before, and it's got a dial on it, like a sundial, and you would go in and actually pick up the phone after putting money in there, and you would dial until you do what? Thank you, call. And that's called a payphone. He benefited from the deregulation of that. He's just telling his age back then. As a result, Ricardo's dedication extends beyond his professional endeavors. He emphasized the importance of family, hard work, faith, ethical conduct, and community service principles guided through his personal life and business operations. Ladies and gentlemen, Brother Ricardo Cumberbatch. failed to mention he holds a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science from Utica College of Syracuse University. That makes him a Orangeman. Ladies and gentlemen, last but absolutely not left is this Morehouse man, Julian Serrano O'Neill. Who I lovingly have nicknamed JSO. That's all we call him. Serves as the new president, first male president of the Pine Hills Community Council, where he leads the PACE administration anchored in participation, accessibility, collaboration, and excellence. PACE. As the youngest president and the first Gen Z leader in the organization's 54 history, he has prioritized strengthening civic engagement, deepening public safety partnerships, expanding economic opportunity, and restoring community pride. His leadership advances with this commission of preserving a clean, safe, and prosperous community while affirming the guide principle, together we can make a difference. Beyond his organization, he is a nonprofit executive strategist with more than a decade of experience in youth development, philanthropy, community advancement. He is a two-time 40 under 40 honoree for Orlando Business Journal and Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity. He also serves as a relationship officer, first vice president and chief of staff of the United Foundation of Central Florida, where he has helped to raise and award more than $500,000 in educational scholarships. Where he helped to raise and award more than $500,000. Where he has helped to raise and award more than $500,000, as somebody applause, in educational scholarships to students from his alma mater, Maynard Evans High School, while advancing his work career. Ladies and gentlemen, the President Serrano O'Neill leads with a purpose, partnership, and unwavering commitment to setting pace for Pine Hills. Ladies and gentlemen, JSO. And these are your judges today. Another round of applause for your judges. All right, at this time, I think it's time for the orators to start. Is that Dr. Johnson, is that right? Do we need to call them up by name? Do I need to introduce them first? Or introduce them before they come, each one? We'll do this one. All right. Orator number one. Orator number one. As I call your name, please rise. Noah Schnecksnader. Is that close?
No.
Tell me, come on, get me right.
It's Schnecksnader.
Schnecksnader. That was my second to Caleb. Noah Schnecksnader. Come on up as he stands. Give him applause, please. Age 17. He was homeschooled, plans to attend UCF, and major in business as life quote. Don't stop when you're tired, stop when you're done, by David Goggins. Ladies and gentlemen, Noah Schnecksnader.
On November 19, 2025, due to relentless online bullying, racism, doxing, and death threats, online Black cosplayer Ashley Gilpaxton took her own life at just 19 years old. Her crime? Simply dressing up as non-Black characters while being Black. Let that sink in. A young woman with creativity, talent, and passion was harassed to the point of hopelessness because of her identity. And the scary part is, it could happen to any other vulnerable Black youth who simply have done it. So we must ask ourselves, how can young people of color embrace their worth, overcome these barriers, and build a future where stories like this no longer happen? So we've all heard the saying, comparison is a thief of joy. And this is especially applicable today, with comparison subconsciously running rampant because of places like social media that let you see people's highlights and successes, all without seeing any of their struggles. This is the same place where young Black girls feel undervalued or lesser than because of the European beauty standards that don't acknowledge their natural hair, skin, and facial features. So setting boundaries with social media is necessary. And more to the point of youth of color embracing their worth, youth can engage more with Black history, learning where they come from, to know that there's the same resilience in them to face the struggles their ancestors had. the same genius, and all the same qualities handed down. They just need to be acknowledged. Knowing where they come from helps young people understand who they are and reminds them that their identity is something to be proud of, not something to hide. And as social media can educate, not just distract, you can also follow certain content creators and pages, or so choosing hashtags to find more history, especially during Black History Month. But beyond internal challenges, there are also external challenges for Black youth, making it difficult for them to maximize their potential. According to the American Educational Research Association, OPIC, and the state of Florida, our Black youth are treated more harshly at every level of school discipline and juvenile justice systems, with shocking data such as them being 2.5 times as likely to receive an in-school suspension as their white peers, 3.4 times more likely to be expelled, and more than 3 times likely to be arrested. However, despite these unfair systemic barriers, positive and empowering spaces can make a transformative difference. Cultural clubs, churches, sports teams, mentorship programs, and even online communities centered on empowerment help reinforce a critical message: you belong and you matter. These environments provide encouragement, representation, accountability, and opportunity. Some of these programs, however, may be in jeopardy, as you may have recently heard the troubling news of DEI being removed under new political orders. Programs, schools, and jobs are all going to be affected by these policies, but it goes so much deeper into the school system to directly affect Black youth. This means less Black mentors and counselors to help Black youth, and completely cutting off teaching Black history in school, which stops youth from developing a strong racial identity at a critical point in their life. One of the most powerful things Black youth can do, however, for the betterment of the future, is to educate themselves and their fellow youth on politics and policy, and to use their vote even when it feels like nothing will ever change. Additionally, youth should give back to the same community that believed in them. Take, for instance, the best basketball player to ever play the sport, LeBron James. Yes,
sir.
not Michael Jordan.
Yes, sir.
Despite living in poverty and bouncing around apartments with no stability, he still came back to his hometown and opened up a school for at-risk youth, which has approximately 60% of the school being Black youth, compared to the national average of only 15%. Now, while that is a grand example, there are other things that can be done to make a difference, such as donating or raising money for places such as our very own Hankins Johnson's Foundation, who uses the donations for scholarships for Black youth. The important part to mention is he never forgot where he came from, no matter how much money and success he got. Ultimately, young people of color deserve to grow up knowing that they are valuable, capable, and powerful, even when society sends the opposite message that does not change their birth. By learning about their history, embracing who they are, and surrounding themselves with people who uplift them, Black youth can build confidence that no one can take away. Still, we must acknowledge the real barriers that exist and stay informed, engaged, and determined to create change. The future will not become more just on its own. It will take courage, education, and action. But if young people of color believe in their value and refuse to let others define them, they will not only overcome obstacles, they will shape a stronger and more empowered future for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Noah. Orator number 2, Jeremy Wesley. Jeremy, age 14, is a student at Olympia High School. His life quote is, you must not let anyone define your limits because of where you come from. Your limit is your soul. Chef G. Jeremy, come on down.
Before you start, can you give us 1 second, please? Thank you.
Lord, why did you make me black? Why did you make me someone the world wants to hold back? I mean, black is the color of dirty clothes, the color of grimy hands and feet. Black is the color of darkness, the color of tired beaten streets. Oh, why did you give me thick lips, a broad nose and kinky hair? Why did you make me someone who would receive the hatred stare? Lord, I just don't understand. What is it about my skin? Why do some people want to hate me and not know the person within? Lord, I just don't understand. I just don't understand. Lord, don't you think it's time for you to make a change? Why don't you redo creation and make everyone the same? Lord, why did you make me black? By Renette Nia Ebo is a poem that highlights the confusion of why there's so much hatred towards the black community. Despite this poem's negativity, this same questioning is plaguing more and more black children daily. In today's fast-moving society, racist rhetoric is quickly shared on the national level, like the depiction as black men as uneducated thugs, while their white counterparts are shown as upstanding citizens. And with our current youth being so closely knit with social media, it is almost impossible to hide how some people view them just based off the color of their skin. Through that exposure, even our younger population starts to believe that they don't have the right skin because they don't have white skin. This now begs the question of how can young people of color embrace their worth, overcome barriers, and build a more just and empowered future when the odds are so blatantly stacked against them. To start answering this question, I will begin with a saying that should be essential to all young people of color, which is that history decides worth, meaning that the value of an object is created by its past. With applying this to black history, it can be shown that all of our value is endless. In America alone, black people have built this country from the ground up, leaving an everlasting mark that is not discussed enough. Did you know that the first self-made female millionaire was a black woman? Her name was Madam C.J. Walker. The first successful open heart surgery was performed by an African American named Dr. Daniel Hall Williams. Ironing boards, gas masks, refrigerated trucks, traffic lights, home security systems, and this very microphone are only a few of the inventions either made or perfected by black people. These daily use items are important to our current society, and us African Americans are still setting records to this date. Even before America, our heritage came from African kings and queens. We cannot allow our pastoral status to be forgotten, no matter how much our history is ordered down to fit a white narrative. As it is Black History Month, once our younger community understands that history decides worth and takes the initiative to educate themselves on black history, then they'll be able to embrace the pride and value that comes with being black. But that alone won't take down the systemic pressures that hold our young people back. Since the start of modern civilization, there have been rock-solid barriers that have caged in black people for centuries. Before, it was slave-owning colonizers and now red-hatted politicians and media outlets that continue to limit the success for our communities. Whether that be pushing out harmful stereotypes, underfunding our education, or taking away SNAP benefits, in which 26% of users are African American, it is clear. Our current government and media have dealt black people a heavy hand, all leading to the damage of our students and children. But if we can all understand that together we can turn barriers into bridges, then it doesn't have to be like this for long. For the adults in the audience, the past elections have given us a Congress that is working to limit color groups' potential. But this can be attributed to almost 90 million Americans not voting in the past presidential election alone, according to Census.gov. By using your votes to work together, you could create a government that works to build bridges for our youth instead of walls that hold us back. And to the young people in the audience, it is important that you do not lean into harmful stereotypes, like thinking it's not cool or tough to care about your education. There is no reason being too smart to be seen as an insult, when according to a 2023 study by the Hitchhiker Report showed that only 54% of high school graduates that were black even go to college. Instead, you should reach out to like-minded peers or programs that can help you reach excellence in schools, sports, or any hobby you have an interest in. Because together, you can turn those barriers into bridges. For me, YMOD has aided me in becoming a better man than I ever was, and has given me the opportunity to talk to all of you from this very stage. Overall, by having pride in themselves and using their conjoined power to break down barriers, our youth can build a more just and empowered future. We can see this in the past when Ruby Bridget became one of the first Black students to attend an all-white school in 1960. By Ruby embracing her worth and her community of all ages supporting her, she was able to open the doors for herself and other people of color to attend school at the same level as white children decades later. Once young people of color understand that first, history decides worth, and second, together we can turn barriers into bridges, then they will have the tools to capture their worth, destroy barriers, and pave the way for a more Black and empowered future. Because Lord, I know now that I am the color Black because Black is the color of my glasses that let me see the world. Black is the color of coal that fuels our machines, and Black is the color of my suit that demands respect. And Black is the color of the most talented children on earth. Thank you.
This thing is smoking. Yeah. It's hot. Give you all a minute. What?
Keep the crowd entertained.
Keep going. Noah, then Jeremy. The next one will be Muhammad. We're going to give them a little time over here to finish that. And don't forget to carry the one. Judge your blood.
If anybody wanted a digital copy of the program, scan.
If anybody wants a digital copy of the program, you can scan it. Hold it again, Dr. Johnson. Right? There it is right there. And where are our timekeepers? There's more than one timekeeper. Where's our timekeeper? Timekeeper, where are you at? Yo, that's you? Hand with the red. Let me see, where are you at? Where is the timekeeper? Up where?
I'm in the back.
You're in the back. Okay, so make sure. Okay, all right. That's good, dude. That's good. That's good. Well, we got some time. What do you want to talk about? Let's see. How's it? You ready? Great, thank you. Let orator number 3 please approach the stage. Muhammad Shabir. Age 60 years old. He goes to Maynard Evans High School. Come on up, Muhammad. Okay, we got that out of your system, Judge. Nothing changes. His life quote, nothing changes if nothing changes, by Courtney C. Stevens. Muhammad?
Good afternoon. My name is Muhammad Shabir. The question I have to ask you all today is how can young people of color embrace their worth, overcome barriers, and build a more just and empowered future? As I was researching this, I asked many people in my community the same question. Some that I got was Geneva, a senior at Edmonds High School. Her words say, one way young people of color can embrace their worth and overcome barriers is by learning more about their ancestors and culture. By being confident in yourself and the people you represent, you will be confident in how you act. Also, by doing this, you try to overcome any obstacles in your way, because you know who you're from, what you've done, and what you can choose to do. I'm someone who's a young and Black adult, who's motivated by accomplishing my goals because of how my ancestors were oppressed and fought, the things I'm able to do today. Gene. Terrence, a sophomore from Edmonds High School, said, I would say young people need to find comfort in being alone and to love themselves. As we go through our day and age, we see lots of things on social media which leads to comparisons on who we are as a person. It isn't spoken about enough that what we see online is just the highlights of the people who are living their lives, and not the struggles that they experience, the hardship that they face, or even how they got to that point. What I would like to say is we should take everything with a pinch of salt and look more deep into what it is that's being shown. Ashley, a junior at Belford V, says, I would experience many things outside the culture, I met too many students that have never been outside the area they reside. We need to experience new things and stop this. That's what for white coat mentality, as it truly is what sets us back as a community. I think there are too many times in life where we choose not to do what we want to do, or even open up new doors simply due to the fact of the stereotypes that we have against us. Some people say that we're savage, that we're animals, that we're people who don't have education. In all reality, that's just false. If you look throughout history, you'll see that many inventions were created by black folk. You'll also notice that history is used not as a way to look past and feel sad for, but as a way to move towards the future. As I was speaking about this, I would like to say what empowerment means. Empowerment is more than just a word that you see or hear. It's the confidence to dream, the belief that you matter, and that those around you matter, and that your words carry weight. Empowerment comes in all shapes and forms, the same way that people do. I looked at various well-known figures when conducting speech, including the likes of Chadwick Boseman and Michelle Obama, whom you may all know. Chadwick Boseman often spoke of resilience in his life. He was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer, which would plague the question, did he continue acting? And to answer that, yes. Black Panther, the role that we may commonly know him as, was one thing that he acted while having stage 3 colon cancer. Unfortunately today, he has passed away. But we can look at his accomplishments and see what he's done to know that not only does hardships set us back, but it's define who we are. We can push through on we have, and we shouldn't let what things stop us from doing things that we want. One of the mentors of Denzel Washington, he was someone who greatly impacted Chadwick Boseman. Whilst Chadwick Boseman was a young actor, he was someone who worked in Howard University. There was this program he wanted to join, one that he quite honestly couldn't afford. Denzel Washington noticed and stepped in and provided a scholarship at no cost to the young Chadwick Boseman. Years later, at an upcoming speech, Chadwick Boseman stated, and I quote, "There is no Black Panther without Denzel Washington." The act of having a mentor, even someone that believes in you, is a powerful thing. Each day we surround ourselves with people that we call family, friends, brothers or sisters, judges, mentors, and so much more. But the one thing that doesn't get spoken about enough is the people you surround yourself by. It's ultimately the people you yourself become. Mentors that I have helped me come to this stage. Without them, I wouldn't be where I am now. In preparation for this speech, I've spoken to a various peers, including those on the judges panel, as well as my fellow peers and friends who I mentioned earlier. If one thing, if anything, that I would like to say is when we empower and believe in others, we don't just change the individual as the whole, we change the entire world as we know it. Thank you.
See, there's so many things I want to say, Brother Jackson, but I'm going to refrain because we're in the house of the Lord. That will bind me by saying certain things, but that's all right. Anyway, I'm glad to be here. As the judges continue, and Judge will let me know when they're ready. Darnell, Giles, or is it Gilles? Say it again? Gilles. All right. They'll be coming up in one moment when they're ready. How many of you all have friends and family in the Northeast with all that bad weather? Let me see you see. How many of you all have texted them or called them recently to gloat about your 70, 80 degree weather? How many?
I sent pictures.
Sent pictures. Anybody else send pictures? Where'd you send them to? Where? What area?
New Jersey.
New Jersey.
New York.
New York. Anybody else in New York? New York, Jackson, your people in New York? Anywhere else? Anybody, what Baltimore, Vince, good when you got people up there? Detroit, absolutely. I was talking to a colleague, I work for a healthcare company, and she was sending a client to me, and she said, Darnell, you ready? And she said, how's everything going, Ivan? I said, well, I see you're in Minnesota, right? She said, yes. I said, I'm in Central Florida. Click. Hater, that's all right. That's okay. There it is. I'll finish part of the story later. Darnell Gillis, come on down. Age 17 years old from Maynard Evans High School.
Hi, you know.
It's all right. His quote is, life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Albert Einstein. Darnell, welcome.
Diversity is not about how we differ. Diversity is about embracing one another's uniqueness. To start off, young people of color should never be ashamed of embracing their worth, as they have a range of different ways to embrace it and accept it in life. This can be achieved through strengthening their racial identity and learning about their cultural background and heritage. From studying the variation of their family's music, language, and even food, young people of color will soon realize how their differences are unique and just different from others, but still have just as much worth. I believe a great example would be me learning about how rock and roll originated from Black people. I was educated on this through my Men of Royalty Club that was specializing in transforming young men's lives from ordinary to royalty. During the meeting, me and my fellow young men were learning about Black history and the inventors of many famous technology from Black inventors. At the time, I was not aware that rock and roll originated from Black people, due to it being popularized by Elvis Presley and usually being performed by white people. I was truly inspired by this, and it really motivated me to dig deeper into it. I was truly surprised to find out, after just a little bit of exploring, that rock and roll was not just created by Black people, but by a Black woman. Come on. This woman's name was Rosetta Tharpe, Sister Rosetta Tharpe. I was truly surprised, because why was it that this was just never knew? Why was it that I never knew about such a thing? Why was it that it was a woman that created rock and roll, but it was popularized and more known by men? With just a little bit of exploring, I soon found out that she was able to blend gospel and electric guitar distortion to create rock and roll. At first, I was truly just surprised about my people's history. I realized that there's so much history for my people that I truly do not know as of today. I seen that there was so much history for my people that was just hidden or not really, I would say, obvious to the public or media. This induced me into embracing my Black culture even more. And in a way, it made me feel proud of my ancestral contributions towards history and how Black people really have so much to do with this life. Young people of color today can begin to accept their worthiness and shortly comprehend how they are unique from others around them. Out of doing this, young people of color will surely be able to foster an even greater, more powerful, and positive racial identity. To add on, young people of color can overcome barriers in life and build a more just and empowered future by connecting with their community and accessing mentorship opportunities. This can be performed by engaging with certain activities or programs that are within their school or community. But to be more specific, these communities or leadership opportunities could really be from clubs that specialize in them. I would say a great club would be the flute club that I'm in within Evans High School. I saw that this club really showed me what it was to be a leader. It gave me financial literacy and different opportunities when it came to finance and money in general. I truly saw how this showed me how to prepare for life after high school and my future career. I then saw that from being in this club, I was able to guide others and help not just myself, but those around me. By communicating with others and those that I truly know, I saw that I was able to overcome life's toughest challenges. I then saw, in order to conquer life's hurdles and overcome multiple obstacles, I must speak out and reach to those that I know. These people could be different family members, teachers, or even an after-school coordinator. By executing this, young people of color will soon be capable of overcoming the different barriers that are presented in their life and will have the rightful knowledge of how to construct a more powerful and empowered future. To conclude, young people of color have a range of different strategies that they can use in order to overcome barriers, fully embrace their worth, and build a more just and authorized future. By exploring their cultural background, communicating with their community, and maximizing every single mentorship opportunity that is available within their area, life, everywhere. Thank you.
Thank you, Darnell.
Yes, sir.
Order number 5, Delex. Pronounce your name, please. Dalix, Doris Samag. How's that? How to do? It's all right. All right. I see you and Noah got together and decided to gang up on me. Huh? Is that right? Is that right? Pronounce it again. Delex. Dallas. I said Dallas. What I said the first time. 1B. 1A and 1B. I'm sorry, what else did I say? I said D? Okay. How am I doing now, Dallas? That good? Thank you. Pronounce the last name. Oh, now you're laughing. Oh, now it's funny now, huh? The judges admit. So yes, back we were talking about how we were torturing our friends and family back in the Northeast with all that bad weather. And so you said you sent a picture, my friend, didn't you?
I did.
What was your picture of?
Just the weather for the next.
When you say you took a picture of the weather, what does that mean?
Yeah, what does it mean?
Just what I said. You took a picture of the weather, take a picture of the sun.
We show you the weather for the week.
Oh, the weather forecast.
That's a difference.
Isn't that different than the weather? Yeah. Because it could be 90 degrees and it could be a cloud. See, what I like to do is send them.
It's not, it was very simple.
It was simple.
Yeah, very simple.
Okay. I did that too. That's footman stuff. Now I send them to the beach.
Well, I don't live by the beach.
I don't live by the beach either, but I still send them to the beach. I use Google. Next on our program is Daleks Dora Samay. Look at him standing proud. 18 years old, as a 10s, Maynard Evans. I guess that's old. Maynard Evans High School. His life quote is, "Fear not failure, but the success of a learned lesson. And success is not the goal in itself, but the path and the journey. That's his own original quote. Daleks Dorsame.
We are people of many backgrounds. We're men of different complexions, women of color. Despite the progress we made and we celebrate so far, we still haven't reached true equality. For many years, we have yearned to be seen as more than just our skin color. We have to be more, to exist in a world where our worth is not a question to be debated, but a fact to be accepted. They say slavery is over. They say segregation is history. They say, what more do you want when we speak up? But what they never ask is, how cruel is the world when you grow up being black? To all people of color right now, I want you to know your skin is not a limitation nor an exception. It's an extension of who we are, our history, our lineage, our legacy that we carry. Many of us were taught a life-changing lesson at a young age. My very own mom sat me down and told me, you're a black man in America. You don't have the luxury to be comfortable. You can't be like other people. You can't hang out with friends with your mind at ease. You have to always remain vigilant in everything you do. If they get an A, you have to get an A+. If they get 100, you have to get 110. And that's just to be in the same room. All the while, we as people of color have this one main goal and objective that holds us back sometimes. We like to compare each other. We like to think when we're in a room with a white person, we're gonna be like, oh, I gotta be better than this person. I gotta do better than this person. I gotta beat the white man. How can I beat the white man? And for a long time, I believed that. How can I outperform him, outwork him, do better than him in every aspect? So let's say you climb that mountain, you reach the very top. What happens then? You look around, what is there? Your success, right? But is success defined by beating someone else? Is your victory really worth it? Because if it's around beating someone else, then your victory is still controlled by them. And that's the trap. When young people of color stop chasing the idea of treating excellence like something that can just be thrown around and gained easily, and we climb these mountains, when we reach the top, we don't just win, we overcome these barriers that we face. Because injustice today doesn't always wear chains. Sometimes it wears a smile. Sometimes it says, you're so successful for a black person. Sometimes it says, oh, calm down. Sometimes it says nothing at all, and especially to do the same. We have become too comfortable. Comfortable laughing off disrespect. Comfortable shrinking so others don't feel intimidated. But comfort has never created change. When Martin Luther King marched, it wasn't comfortable. When Malcolm X spoke, it wasn't convenient. There were young ones too. Young, watch, criticize. Something we're in danger of forgetting is this world isn't made for us to win. Rights are not handed down by men. They are endowed by God. All men are created equal. Not almost equal, not conditionally equal, but equal. So if equalities are birthright, why do we ask permission to use our voice? Why do we sit in classrooms, boardrooms, meetings, thinking, let me not say too much. I don't want to say this. I don't want to embarrass this person. I don't want to do that. But what if your idea is the breakthrough? What if your perspective is the reform that the room needs? What if your voice is the shift the room needs? We need to make these what it's real. Science has never protected us. It has only postponed us. And the struggle, I'm sorry to say this, the struggle didn't disappear. It evolved. Today it looks like microaggressions, lower expectations, opportunities that just happen to pass us by. And the danger isn't always oppression, it's normalization. The question is not, how do I beat them? The question is, how do I become the fullest version of myself? When your goal is internal growth, no one can take it from you. No one can deny it from you. No one can redefine it. We do not overcome barriers by chasing validation. We overcome barriers with vision. Vision that says, I'm not competing for worth. I was born with it. Vision that says, my culture is not a costume. It's a contribution. Vision that says I don't need permission to lead, I need preparation. Young people of color start embracing their worth when they stop shrinking to fit rooms that were never designed for them, and start expanding rooms so others can enter too. We overcome barriers when we stop asking, do I belong here? And start declaring, I will build here. We build a more just and empowered future when we understand this truth. Justice is not inherited. It is constructed. Empowerment is not given. It is cultivated. To help ourselves as young people of color, we need to stop letting setbacks ruin us and start seeing them as lessons we can learn from. Loss doesn't mean, oh, I have to turn to the streets now. That is how we lose. Another issue to overcome lies in where we take effort for change. Because nowadays, I don't see most people out here protesting like it was back in the days, because nothing has really changed. So recognize and realize this isn't just a life we're forced to live. It's the future we are building, changing, and the legacy we are leaving behind. And worth isn't negotiated. It's recognized in our communities, recognized for the courage it takes to stand tall. In a world that sometimes hope you won't. So no, our skin is not a limitation. It's not an exception, it is an extension of who we are, our history, our lineage, our struggle, our brilliance. And when young people of color stop shrinking into these rooms and start chasing excellence within, we don't just climb these mountains, we redefine them. And that is how young people of color embrace their worth, overcome barriers, and build a more just and empowered future.
Thank you, Alex. We ready? Not yet? Not almost ready? Let me ask you a couple of questions, just a poll. Let's see. How many have been watching the Olympics? Winter Olympics? No? Only 3 of us? None of y'all didn't watch? Wesley's, y'all didn't watch the Olympics? And weren't y'all stationed in Colorado? You watched the highlights. Okay. Anybody else see the highlights? Anybody origins? Did you all see the highlights? Olympics, okay. What did you like? What did you see that you liked? I can't hear you. We won. They, who's they? We, that's us, we won. Absolutely. Ready? All right, good deal, here it is. Anthony Booker, Jr. Apopka High School, his life quote is, get comfortable being uncomfortable. Cecile Fountain. Sorry.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. All right. At 18 years old, I learned something early on in my life that many young black men don't get to learn. The world is always going to have an opinion on you. It's up to you to decide who you become. From a young age, we're told what success should look like, how fast we move, and what we should measure ourselves by. Social media shows us the cars, the money, the jewelry, the houses. Society expects a good job, a traditional home, a good family. But if we're not careful, we start believing our worth is something we have to earn. But here's the truth. Your worth is not a reward. It's a foundation. Let me repeat myself. Your worth is not a reward. It's a foundation. Real change doesn't start on the outside. It starts within. Self-growth is about who you are becoming when no one is Self-growth is about who you are becoming when no one's watching. It's about choosing discipline over comfort. It's about learning from your mistakes without letting them define you. Every small promise you keep to yourself builds trust within you. And that trust becomes the strength. Confidence isn't loud, it's consistent. For a long time, I thought confidence meant being fearless or having all the answers to life. But confidence isn't about perfection, it's about alignment. When your actions line up with your values, you don't need approval to feel secure. When you know who you are, you stop chasing validation. Comparison loses its power, and comparison loses its power when you focus on yourself. The moment I stopped asking the world who I should be, I started becoming who I am today. One of the most important lessons I've ever learned. Feeling change, systems keep you steady. Let me repeat myself. Feelings change, but systems keep you steady. There will be days when you're praised and days when you're overlooked. Days when you feel motivated and days when you don't. But if your identity is built on how you feel or how others treat you, it will always be unstable. That's why systems matter. A routine that protects your mental health. Mentors who tell you the truth, not just what you want to hear. Boundaries that guard your energy. Principles you return to when life gets hard. I stopped building my life on emotions and started building my life on decisions. As young people, there's pressure to fit in, to blend in, to compromise to your friends, to look cool. Hey man, come smoke this. Hey man, come do this. But success without integrity is failure. Staying true to yourself takes courage, especially when it will be easy to go along with the crowd. Oh yeah man, I'm gonna come do this with you. Oh yeah man, let's go to the party. I'd rather walk alone in the truth and then be surrounded by people pretending to be someone I'm not. Giving 100% doesn't mean being perfect. It means being committed. You don't control every obstacle you'll face, but you do control your effort. You do control your mindset. You do control how you respond. The future isn't built by people who never fail. It's built by people who refuse to quit on themselves. When young people understand the truth, they start understanding their worth. Commit to growth and build systems rooted in integrity. They don't just overcome barriers, they become the future that changes them. If I stay true to who I am, disciplined in how I grow, and committed to giving my all, then no matter what the world gives or takes away, I win. Thank you.
Anthony, do you want to come put the Bible back up here?
Oh, yeah.
Got kind of a little too comfortable up here, moving stuff around like this is his church, or his daddy's church. It's a heavy Bible. I'll make you come here Anthony, I'll make you come here and read one of these verses up here.
Can I give you a verse to read?
Give it to me, I'm listening.
Romans 12:19.
Stand up and come on, let me hear you.
You want me to say it?
Absolutely.
The Lord says unto his child. Dang, hold on. That's a lot of verses. Relax. The Lord says unto his child, do not seek vengeance. Vengeance is mine, my son, I shall repay.
Okay, let's go to reverse count. What's Romans what? Romans 12:18.
12:19.
Trust, okay. It's not in that one. I'm sorry, what version? See, you go. Yeah, okay, all right. I'm looking. looking. Okay, all right. All right, Romans 12, what, Anthony?
Romans 12:19.
19. Romans 12:19. Dearly, beloved, avenge not yourselves. Is this a church or what? Dearly, beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine. I will repay, saith the Lord. The doors of the church are open. At least one of them. Are we ready?
I'll pass the plate.
Okay, pass the plate, okay? Soon to church today. Ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Booker Jr. Keon Singletary. Amen. Age 15, he's a student at Maynard Evans High School. Y'all can do that for Dallas. Okay, that's all right. Evans High School, enlist in the United States Army Marine Corps as an officer. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay, listen, yes, sir. Here's his life quote. You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. Mae West. What you know about Mae West, boy? Watch yourself quoting Mae West. That's how you get in trouble. She said, not the men of my life, it's the life of my men. Ooh, it's the Bible spiritual, boy. I didn't even say that. Keon Singletary, come on down.
Good afternoon, everybody. Before the world ever told us who we were, history already showed us who we could become. We are the descendants of dreamers who refuse to stop dreaming. We are living evidence of prayers whispered in fields, factories, classrooms, and courtrooms. We are not accidents of history. We are its promise. The question that stands before us today is not whether young people of color have work. The question is whether we will recognize it, protect it, and teach it.
Yes, sir.
Teach it. My grandfather, Tony Singletary, once said, if voting wasn't so important, why did they stop you from doing it? And that made me think long and hard. Therefore, use it to transform our future for the greater good. Young people of color can embrace their work by knowing their history, overcoming barriers and mastering their minds and opportunities, and build a more just and empowered future by leading with courage, unity, and purpose. Embracing our work begins with knowledge. I don't know who said the quote, but knowledge is something that you can't take away from a person. You cannot take away knowledge. While we learn about leaders like Belford Lawson Jr., who fought legal battles to dismantle discrimination, we realize that brilliance has always lived in our communities. When we study Thurgood Marshall's who argue cases that reshape America, we understand that the courtroom can be a battlefield for justice. When we reflect on pioneers like Shirley Chisholm, who declared she was unbought and unbiased, we see courage in action. History is not just something we memorize, it's something that we inherit. But embracing our worth also means rejecting the stereotype that attempts to shrink us. Society may project limits onto us, but the limits only exist when we accept them. Our worth is not defined by our zip code, skin tone, accent, or income. It's defined by our character, our work ethic, our refusal to quit even when things get hard.
When we achieve academically, leading our schools, support our families, and uplift our communities, we send a powerful message. We know who we are. Overcoming barriers, let us be honest. Barriers exist. Educational inequality, economic disparity, implied bias. But barriers are not brick walls. They are tests of endurance. We overcome educational inequality by mastering our craft. We study harder, we ask questions, we seek mentors. We use every available resource. Excellence becomes our protest. We overcome economic barriers by learning financial literacy, entrepreneurship, and ownership. Wealth is not just money, it's knowledge. Another quote from my granddad, money is not a money is not a toy, it's a tool. We overcome discrimination by not shrinking, but shining. Not responding with hate, but with preparation. When we walk into rooms prepared, informed, and confident, we change every assumption before a word is even spoken. And perhaps the greatest barrier we must overcome is doubting the quiet voice that whispers, maybe you're not enough. The voice is wrong. You are enough. We have always been enough. Building a more just and empowered future is not built by accident. It's built by action. Young people of color can build a more just and empowered future when we vote, when we organize, when we advocate, and when we hold institutions accountable. Justice grows when we participate. We build environment through unity. Division weakens movements. Collaboration strengthens them. When we form coalitions across communities, cultures, and backgrounds, we turn individual voices into collective power. We build the future by becoming the future. The next attorney arguing before the Supreme Court may be sitting in a high school classroom today. The next senator shaping policy may be working a part-time job after school. The next entrepreneur transforming an industry may be sketching ideas in a notebook right now. The future is not waiting for permission. It is waiting for participation. Young people of color do not need to search for the worth, we must recognize it. We do not need to pretend barriers are invisible, we must prove they are conquerable. We are as authors, because we are not merely beneficiaries of history, we are as authors. And the next chapter begins, is ours to write. Thank you.
Keon, you stood up here like you wanted to read something out of here. Let me know if anything else. Okay, all right, good deal. Keon Singletary. We have about 11 more orators to go, but the next one is Houston Charles. Were they not ready yet? Okay, not ready yet. Okay, all right. I've got one for you, orators. Here's a question. You heard them say that Belford V. Lawson Jr. was an attorney, right?
Yes,
and that he was the first black man to do what?
When it's a Supreme Court case.
The Supreme Court case. And he was also the first black president of what organization?
Alpha, the 16th general president of Alpha.
Right, he was. But my question is, he was the first black president of what major organization in the United States? Take a guess. Muhammad, you have a guess?
I know it. Was it something about the Florida?
You get one guess.
Department of...
I just want one guess, one answer. A major or national organization. Dallas, take a guess. Come on, let me hear one. Jeremy? No, he's a president, right? First black president of what major national organization? Darnell? Noah? The answer is, you ready? You all ready? The YMCA. As Pearson Charles makes his way to the front, don't forget that. First, think about this. 16th General President of Alpha Phi Alpha, first black man to win a case before the U.S. Supreme Court, and the first president of what organization? All right. Pearson Charles. Do I have that backwards? Is that right? Okay, all right, statement man. Maynard Evans High School. Took a while, Mr. Members. Took a while. His life quote is, I am no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I'm changing the things I cannot accept. Angela Davis.
Good afternoon, everyone. All right, I want to start with a simple question. Have you ever walked to a room and felt like you were being judged before you open your mouth? For a lot of people from Pine Hills, we go through that a lot. We're often judged by how we look, the way we speak, the way we talk, or what social media or the news say. My family came to the country with so much hope for a change. Sometimes I feel like the world just expects so less from us. And after just hearing that message for so long, it's like, it's just starting to believe over time. But today, I want to remind you, you are important. You're not a statistic, you're not a stereotype, and you're definitely not your struggles. For me, this message is very personal. I'm a child of immigrant parents, and I am an immigrant myself. And I'm also, my family came to this country with faith and hope and determination, because they know I put a lot of hard work and perseverance that it will help for me to open doors. But like many other immigrant families, they go through the same problems, like uncertainty, acceptance, and about where the future might hold. And today, with so much chaos, division, and all the unrest that we see all across social media, it's like the future is just so unclear. And we also ask ourselves, like, where do I fit in? Should I even try anymore? But embracing your worth starts knowing who you are. Not who social media say you are, not who the system expects you to be, but who you truly are at your core. Your culture, your background, your story, your resilience, those are not your weaknesses, those are your strengths. Think about where you're from. Many of us was raised by our parents or grandparents who sacrificed so much so we can have so much opportunities. Some of us had to grow faster than we should have. Some of us had responsibilities early in our lives. Some of us had to be strong before we even knew what strength meant. That strength, that resiliency, that perseverance is part of your worth. But even though we know our values, we have to be honest, because we know we still have barriers. Like unequal schools, limited resources, being treated differently, just the color of our skin, our accent, or our last name. Feeling like we have to work twice as hard just to be seen equal. These challenges are real, and ignoring them doesn't make them just disappear. Overcoming barriers doesn't mean pretending. It exists, but it just don't exist. It means choosing not to let them define us. It means asking for help when we need it. Because real strength isn't about doing everything alone. It means asking for help. It means staying focused when distractions try to pull you off course. It means making smarter choices when the easiest right in front of you. And sometimes, failing, it's not like a big thing in the world, but sometimes you have to get back up. Because every setback can become a setup for growth. And if you just refuse to quit, it'll just not be the right choice. Now let's talk
future. No, building a more and just empowered future doesn't start with politicians or just famous people. It starts with us in this room, family, community. It starts when we start believing that it matters. When we speak in class, we try to speak up. When we stand up for someone unfairly in class, we see who's the problem is. When we choose education, growth, purpose, and integrity over all this negativity and all this self-doubt, it's like you don't have to be perfect to make a difference. You just have to care. Care about your future. Care about your community. Care enough to say, I want to be better, and I'm willing for the change. Despite everything we see on the news, and despite all the uncertainty and the noise, I still believe in hope. I believe in y'all. Pine Hill is full of talent, creativity, potential, artists, leaders, entrepreneurs, doctors, change makers. The future isn't something far away. It's really sitting in this room. So if no one told you this lately, let me be the one who tells you. You matter, your life matters, your dreams matters. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. Know your worth, push through the barriers, and walk boldly into your future because it truly needs you. Thank you.
While I have a moment, with the exception of the judges, I'm going to ask all my brothers of Alpha Phi Alpha to please stand up as we are the hosts today. Alphas, will you stand up, please? And around, thank you. Young men, see you. Good. I think it's important. Thank you all for doing this. Looking over just a list of some people. Because this is an Alpha event, give the judges some time to go and finish. Orators, let me see. Let me just ask before I go to the crowd. Can you name any Alpha men that are still living that are not in this room? Any famous Alphas? Do you know of any? I can't hear you.
My founder.
Your founder, what's your founder's name? There he is, Nicholas J. Solomon. He's the president of my chapter, Delta Xi Lambda. Anybody else? Any other famous Alphas? Anybody else famous? How about, do you know the actor Omari Hardrick? Plays in the show Power. Y'all should be watching Power. I see some of y'all's mothers. Hey, hands like your mom's here. You want to raise your hand? I understand. All right, let's see. How about Roland Martin? He's a columnist, podcaster. Some of y'all know. Look out! Right, alive, famous alive ones. We can all name Martin Luther King and Du Bois. That's good. That's good. Thurgood Marshall. What else? Hugh, give him some more. Come on, Alphas, give some of these guys some hints. Who? Maxwell, not to my knowledge. Is Maxwell Alpha?
Maxwell who?
Maxwell?
No, Maxwell.
Will Packer, yes. Will Packer. Hill Harper, classmate of Obama's in law school. Who else?
The first black governor of Maryland.
Name is the governor of Maryland. What's his name? Wes Moore. All right, keep going. Who else? Cornell West. Dr. Cornell West. Keenan Ivory Wayans. What else? Okay, anybody else? Come on, another one. Lionel Richie. You heard of Lionel Richie before? Is he a judge on one of these shows? American Idol, which one? Walt Clyde Frazier. Who's Walt Clyde Frazier? So yell them out. I'm listening. Tell me. And he played for whom? The who? New York Nets? Knicks. Yes, Knicks. Clyde. That's right. Who else? Anybody else? Go on, Tony Jackson. You have one? ASJ.
Clifford Youngblood Jr.
Clifford Youngblood Jr. From Olsen. No, he's not a good one. He's not a good famous one. Yes, the judge. Clifford. That's right. Absolutely. Another one. Anyone else? Still going? They're still judging? Okay. Who? Jesse Owens. Absolutely. What distinction does Jesse Owens have? Your history fellows, Jesse Owens, come on, Dallas, Muhammad, come on, Darnell. Jesse Owens. Track record. What track record do he have?
Gold.
How many? 4 gold in the 1936 Berlin Games. And why was that so important?
Hitler
Because Adolf Hitler
did not think
he believed that the Aryan nation was the most powerful. And Jesse knocked all over that. Let me give you one more stat. Do you know in that 1936 Olympics, there were 7 alphas that competed in those Olympics, and they brought home 13 medals. 1936. How many years ago was that? I can't hear you. Come on, Darnell. Thank you. 90 years. Come on. 36, 86, 96, 26. Carry the one. All right. How we doing, judges? We ready? All right. All right. Tally, you got it?
we're tallying now.
They're tallying now. Okay. All right. We'll get them votes right. All I need is 11,213 votes. Can you find me that many, please? Oh, am I starting something? Oops. I'm going to send the DOJ. All I need, Dr. Johnson, is 11,213 votes. This is fine, sir. ASJ. I'm going to send my lawyer, ASJ, down there. Y'all too young to understand that. It's all right. Somebody been watching the news. Ooh, that was a wasp. But I killed him with the word. See that? All right. Come on up. Ladies and gentlemen, our judge, Clifford Youngblood Jr.
Okay, this time we'd like all the contestants to please come forward.
Backstage.
No, this is all right here. This is a good photo moment here. Trophies ready? Let's give everyone a round of applause. All the participants did a fabulous job. Parents, are you in the house? Let's give the parents a round of applause. Mentors and supporters, we thank you. Excellent work today. We're going to start with 3rd place. Our 3rd place winner is orator number 8, Pearson Charles.
Good job, Pearson.
I have been instructed to inform you that the presenters of the awards are our Vice President, Brother Lawrence Davis, our Director of Education, Dr. Anthony Johnson, and our YNOD lead, Dr. Matthew Bill. In 2nd place, orator number 6, Anthony Booker Jr. And the winner is 1st place, orator number 2, Jeremy Rowe.
pictures taken. We're going to come around on the inside. Orders, all of you all come on the inside, please. Come on the inside here. Orders, turn around, see me, see me, see me. Come on around here, please. Okay. Put all the trophies in front, right there, Jeremy. Put yours right there in the front.